Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to Quilt Conversations Live. I'm Geraldine Wilkins, the Living Water Quilter, and I am so glad to be with you on our Friday night date. Hello, ladies on YouTube. It's good to be together again, and my friends on Facebook, and of course, all my friends on Amazon Live. We are live streaming on Amazon, Facebook, and YouTube. So, everyone, welcome. Welcome to another DIY rope basket. Hello, Mariah. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Mariah is watching from Amazon Live. Fantastic. Hello, Marsha. Hello, Cassie. Hello, Copper. So glad you ladies are here. Hi, Sally. How are you? So glad you're here. Wow, ladies, did you get a chance to watch DIY rope baskets number 1 and number 2? If you haven't, after today, go back because I go through the basics. I'm going to briefly share the basics tonight, but to get a little bit more about the basics, we've been doing a progressive look at how to make rope baskets with cotton rope. And then we started to add different embellishments. So we're going to talk about part 3. Thank you, Sally. So good. Hey, Copper. Yes, she's over there on Long Island. Yes, love it, ladies. I'm so glad you're here. I have some news to share with you, especially for those who have been coming to this weekly live stream on Fridays. Ladies over there on YouTube, we've been gathering together for a whole year, right? Since last year, we're already into our second year. So, and you coined the phrase date night. So guess what? We have a t-shirt. We have a t-shirt now. And so just for this weekend, if you get that t-shirt, date night in different colors, you will get a free tote bag. Copper has the link. Copper can put that link in the YouTube chat for my ladies over there on YouTube. That is my thank you for hanging out with me every Friday. Thank you for being a part of Quilt Conversations Live. Thank you, thank you. So Copper put that link in there and we're going to get started. We'll talk more about it if you have questions about the t-shirt. Date night. It is our date night, Fridays. Sally says, yay. Happy birthday. All right. Whose birthday is it today? I think I missed that in the comments. Let me go back. Let's see. Did I see whose birthday it is? Tell me whose birthday it is so I can say happy birthday. I can't find it in the comments. So we're going to talk about baskets, and I use this rope. I'm going to highlight it in the carousel. I use this cotton rope. And again, I said, if you missed the first couple of DIYs, I'm going to give you a little reminder, okay? Let me just quickly go to the overhead camera. So I use this cotton rope, right? It's clothesline. And I like this diameter. This is 100 feet. You can get it in 100 or 200, okay? It's in the carousel for those watching on Amazon. And this is what it looks like. I unravel this and I make it into balls. 100 feet makes a large bowl. 2, cut it in half. 2 50-feet sections makes 2 medium size, and then 4 25 feet make 4 baskets small. All right. But I want to go back and remind those who are just joining us for the first time. If you missed the early discussions about how to use this rope to make a rope basket, and you're probably wondering, okay, what does that look like? Here's one of the baskets we're going to talk about tonight and how to get this additional texture. But you need some background to the process, okay? And everyone who's been watching on YouTube, I know you ladies have been gathering your supplies, right? And don't forget, if you haven't and you still need links to the supplies, just go in the description box below. You will get links to all the supplies we talk about tonight, okay? So just a recap, this is what we started with the DIY series. Remember, we're doing a DIY. It's been about 5 weeks, and we've been doing quilts and baskets. So it's every other day. It's quilts on Wednesdays and baskets on Fridays. So this was the first one. So you can watch the replay. It's available here on YouTube and on Amazon. Just go to the Living Water Quilter Amazon channel and you will find the replay, or the YouTube channel, you will find the replay. And then the first basket session, we talked about trays and baskets and all the different tools needed, the basics. How to use this rope, why I like to use this rope. We talk about that in detail. Again, replays are available. Hello, Wilda. So glad you're here. Hello. And then we went back to talking about quilts and thread. We had a really good discussion about how to make an art quilt using a lot of thread. All right, that was a couple of weeks ago. Then we went back Friday to our second session on baskets. And this one talked about how to use different types of cords and ropes, which we're going to talk about tonight. This is part 2 of that discussion of another way, another creative way to use different types of cords and ropes in our basket making. And then just a couple of days ago, we did how to incorporate fabric and windows with paper. And that was just 2 days ago. And this is all part of the series DIY. So you can watch those replays. You get all the tools, all the techniques and discussions in the replays here on Amazon and on YouTube. All right. So that being said, thank you, Copper. I'm glad you like the baskets. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Now, Copper, did you get the link? I sent you an email on the date night t-shirt. I hope you got that. And if you could do that, that'd be great. So, baskets. Let's look at the basic tools. We talked about this rope, right? We also want to look at our thread. What are we sewing the rope together with? We have this rope. And remember, we always want to stitch the beginning, cut off the fuzz, right? And then when we feed it through the machine, we are feeding on the right-hand side. Remember, the replay gives more detail. So I like to use cotton thread, and I have a variety of cotton thread. Sometimes I use polyester thread, but mostly cotton, matte finish. I like that. So this is connecting threads, multiple colors. Get the set where you get a rainbow of colors. I highlighted that in the carousel, and this is 100% cotton. It's Egyptian, it's long staple cotton. Long staple, and if you don't know what long staple is, you have to watch the replay on the thread. Again, available here on Amazon. I did a whole session on thread weight, needles, all of that. I'm not going to go through that tonight. Watch that replay. So this is 100% cotton, long staple. It's 50 weight thread. Hello, Benita. So glad you're here. Hello. All right. Oh, there goes Tasha. Hello, Tasha. Hello. All right. All the regular ladies are here tonight. Awesome. So this is the cotton thread. Love this thread. And I also use, I'm going to highlight this one. I like to use variegated thread. And you've seen some of those baskets where I've used like this king tut. And this is a variegated thread. This just shows up so nicely against this neutral cream color rope, right? So I like to use yellows and browns, anything that's going to add just a little extra texture. So that's this king tut is one of them, and it's a variegated thread. Okay, it's by Superior. And then sometimes I will use So Fine. That's another variegated thread. This is another thread that I like. That's been highlighted in the carousel. Again, I'm not going to go in detail, but for those of you who are new, just joining us for the first time, I wanted to share that with you. And then 100 needle. You want to use a 100 needle. I'll highlight that in the carousel. You want it to be able to go through that rope like butter. And there was a discussion about, can you use a jeans needle? I say yes. But if you've been watching these lives and maybe you're new, test, test, test. Always test, no matter what it is. Thread, needles, test, test. See what works. I'm recommending a place to start. This is the size needle that I use, okay? And I also use Wonder Clips. I use Wonder Clips. I'll highlight this in the carousel. I use Wonder Clips for various stages of the basket making process. Let's see if I can find it in the carousel. There we go. I have the box of 50, and some of them are out and about in my sewing room. There aren't 50 in here, but there I have them. I love these Wonder Clips. They are great for using, especially with craft text. And I'm going to show you. You know that in the previous sessions, we use craft paper called craft text. And you can't use a pin with it. You need to use clips. And so I use this clip, the Wonder Clip. And I also use the Wonder Clip for another technique that I'm going to share tonight. And I'm going to show that to you. All right. Now, I have to say this. Oh, so Copper says Wonder Clips are good for all kinds of sewing, and now baskets too. Yes, Copper, they are. I just received the big ones, and we're going to talk about these a little bit more later, but I wanted to add this to your list of supplies. I just received this from Clover. Wanted to let you know they sent this to me, these large jumbo Wonder Clips. Let us know in the chat if you've ever used the jumbo size. We're going to go over these a little bit more in detail later when I talk about it with the craft text. But they sent these to me, but anything I share will be my own opinion. They have not instructed me to say anything, to describe anything, to give a good review, to do anything other than to share it in the course of me sharing about the things that I love to do. And so tonight it's about baskets, and I use their clips when I make baskets. But I wanted to be transparent about that. They did send them to me, but I'm sharing them based on how I use them, and the opinions are my own. I love these. So we'll talk more about those later. All right, so those are the supplies. We talked about the, also Copper says she's used the jumbo ones. Okay, great. They really work well. Yes. Yes. They help you. Yes, the reach. I noticed that today when I picked it up, that it has a nice reach to it, and there are numbers on the back. But again, I'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll come back. Okay, so here we go. Lorraine says she loves those jumbo clips. All right. Hello, Lorraine. I'm so glad you're here. Awesome. Lorraine over there on Facebook. So this is part 3. Remember when we talked about the different types of cords, craft cords, and ropes you can add with this rope, with the cotton clothesline? We're going to go into more of those different ropes and cords and how we can incorporate them with this cotton rope, okay? So first up, so Copper says hello to everyone on Facebook and those who are on Amazon. Hello, Lois. How are you? So Lois says, I've used the large ones. She said she used the large clips today. Awesome, Lois. Awesome. Wonder clips are fantastic. I like them. All right. First photo. Let's look at the first photo. Here we go. So you're looking at a close-up of this basket. These are basket sets using 2 different types of rope or cord. So the cotton clothesline, which is highlighted in the carousel, and it's discounted at 9% off for 100 feet, and then for 200 feet it is discounted at 21%. So the better value is the 200 feet. So we're looking at how we combine this cord with this clothesline with other types of craft cords. And so last week we talked about Bonnie's craft cord, and I showed you how I incorporated that. Let's look at another example. This was the first type that you've seen. You've seen this type last week, and I'll show the overhead camera. So see how this is Bonnie's craft cord with the cotton rope. So I'll highlight the Bonnie's craft cord. Now it comes in different millimeters. You've seen it before last week with the 2 millimeter. Today we're looking at bigger, 4 and 6 millimeter, and seeing the difference it makes, okay? So these are a combination of Bonnie's craft cord and clothesline for the basket. Okay, and you can get it in a lot of colors, which is what I love, right? This is blue, this is oval, it's a nice shape, and you can store all kinds of things in this basket, okay? Look at the difference. I'm going to show you the difference in thickness in the different types of Bonnie craft cord. Let's look at the overhead camera. Okay, so you've seen this thickness, I think it was last week. You see this one. Now look at this thickness. So Tasha says she's never seen those big wonder clips before. I'm going to have to get some and try them out. Yes, they are convenient. And wait till I show you some of the additional information that's available on it. Don't let me forget. If I forget, remind me. Hey, Marcia. Very nautical. Yes, the blue and white was very nautical. So look at the difference between these 2 cords in terms of thickness and then application, right? So Sally says she has the regular mini clips and you want to try them too. Okay, so Sally, you want to try the larger ones. Here is the very small. You saw this last week, and it's sitting right on top of and sewn in with a zigzag with that variegated thread, this very thin cord, right? Okay. So, what do you do with something that's that thick? How do you incorporate and use it in a creative way. Look at the difference, right? And so what I showed you, let me move this out of the way now. Put that there. Okay, I'm going to go to, in the carousel, the 6mm, the heavier weight. So here is that thicker cord. There's the end. Here it is. So this is the end. See that thicker cord there? Just sitting on top. It creates this beautiful texture on the outside. Oh, and Sally, you say you use the mini clips. I don't have those yet. I'll have to look into getting the mini clips because there are 3 different sizes. So you see those ridges? I love the way putting this thicker cord creates this nice texture on the edge. Let me show you a photograph of that. I think that will help you see it a little bit better. You see that texture that Bonnie craft cord, the thicker cord, can make on the edge. And I didn't put it on the bottom. I just put it on the side. Is that a good utility basket for sewing? I'm not sure what you mean by your question, Marcia. You can store anything you want inside this. I did sew this on my home sewing machine. For those of you watching on Amazon, this was made on a home sewing machine. And this is a little bit of craft text, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. But that is one technique where you put it on the surface, and you are probably wondering, how did she get it to start right here and not be on the bottom? Okay, you see how it starts here and then it's only on the side of the basket. And that's where I take in the Wonder Clip. So when I am sewing these 2 together, remember in part 2 of the DIY rope series, I talked about how I sew these 2 cords together before I start to make the basket. Okay. But I leave one section where I don't sew them together. So I will take my Wonder Clip, and I might have maybe 10 or 15, maybe less than that, maybe about 5 feet of cord that is not sewn to the green Bonnie craft cord. And what I will do is that I will clip, say this is 5 feet from here to here to the end. I will clip this to know that that's where I want to stop adding the Bonnie's cord to the clothesline. Yes, Marcia, just a general use basket. Any basket that we make, we just talked about this last week. We can make them any size. We can use them for anything. To store pencils, to put our keys in at the door, to put, if you make it really big, you can put it next to your sofa and you can put your pillows in there or your extra blanket for a chilly night. So use it any way you want. All right, so that's where I would bring in the Wonder Clip. So let me highlight that in the carousel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the Wonder Clip. And I know that from here on, I do not want to add the green craft cord. Sally, it's such a shock. Okay. All right. Not sure what you ladies, a general use basket. It does, Tasha, this extra cord does give it dimension, right? But I want you to see that there's a difference here. This is laying in between two pieces of cord. It's laying in between two pieces of cord. So remember, every time I have any project, I break it down into steps. So how do you get it in between two? What you're going to do is have the Bonnie's Craft cord in between two. You're going to stitch two together first, two sections of the clothesline cord. You're going to stitch those two together first. After you do that, then you stitch a second time this cord, this Bonnie's Craft cord, on top of the cotton rope. Okay? So essentially you are making your own rope made of 3 different strands. 2 clothesline and 1 Bonnie's Craft cord. Okay? And we talked about that last time. I hope this is making sense to everybody. Let me know if you have any questions over there on YouTube, Amazon. Let me know if you have any questions about this process. It might be a little confusing if this is the first time that you've heard this. Remember, this is part 3. So part 3, we're talking about how we can take multiple cords and create our own rope. We start off with this clothesline rope, and now we're adding color to it by adding different types of cords. Bonnie's Craft cord, different thicknesses of Bonnie's Craft cord, 3 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter. You decide which thickness you want and how to apply it. No problems, because you're doing it with a zigzag stitch. When you are adding the Bonnie's Craft cord, you are going over the cord and stitching into the clothesline the same way you would normally do. It's the same way when you see it here. It's stitching left and right with a zigzag, and it's stitching right into, with a 100 needle, into the 2 pieces of clothesline. So even when you add this cord, you're not stitching into this, and this is very soft. Sally, your question about perpendicular walls, I don't know that I've tried that. That's a good question. I have not made any with perpendicular walls, meaning like square, that kind of thing. I think that's what you mean. I don't use a special foot. That's just my regular general purpose foot. Remember, ladies, test. Start with the basics, then start to add embellishments. Okay, so we have 2 pieces that have been sewn together, right? Zigzag. Once they're sewn together, then you bring in the Bonnie's Craft cord and you lay it on top. Okay, you lay it right on top. And you do a wide enough zigzag so that you can go over the Bonnie's Craft cord. I'm hoping that makes sense now, because you're not stitching into all 3 of these at once. You're still only stitching into 2. And the Bonnie's Craft cord is so soft. It's soft. It flattens out underneath the needle. It will go flat. Let's see if you can see that. You see how that is flat? Look at this part where it's starting to unravel. this is very, very pliable. It's not thick and heavy duty. See how these are strands? And that's why it works well for this. It flattens out as you stitch it. Hello, Kelly. So glad you're here on Amazon. Everyone on YouTube, Kelly is over here on Amazon. Yes, okay. So that's why this flattens. And this is an example of when this blue one, this is Bonnie's craft cord. And you can see that it has flattened just a little bit. It's not as, because of the stitching, it flattened it out a little bit. I don't know how else to describe it. Okay. But when you put it on the surface, you see how the zigzag is going over the cord. It's going over, not into the cord. All right, so Copper says hello. I'm going to put that on screen. Copper says hello to you, Kelly. So that is an example. Now, let's look at some additional cords and crochet cords. All right. I'll put this on the floor. Because once you get started, you're going to start looking at different types of cord like this one. This is a metallic. I just highlighted it in the carousel. Hey, Jacqueline. So glad you're here. Jacqueline over there on YouTube. She just arrived. And it was her birthday. Happy birthday, Jacqueline. Okay. So let's see if we can get a comparison going here. All right. These are the different cords that I've been sharing with you in the series that we are combining with this cotton rope. All right. Okay. This one, this one, this one, this one. All right. Here we go. Here's all of them. So here is our clothesline. Then we have this rope that's like in the sporting goods section. We have our Bonnie's craft cord that is like 2 millimeters. We have Rattail cord here. And I forgot this one. Let's see if I can get these all lined up in terms of thickness. Here we go. So look at the thicknesses. They all vary. And so because they vary, how we use them can also vary. But I'm incorporating all of these in different types of scenarios in the basket making. Okay. And oops, I forgot one. This is the thinnest one, which is highlighted in the carousel. This is a crochet. All right. This is, and it has a little metallic. See how thin that one is? Thin. It's close to the craft cord, the Rattail cord thickness, but it's even thinner than that. So the black is the Rattail. This one is a cream with metallic in it, and it's a crochet rope or cord. All right, so Rattail, Bonnie's craft cord, 2 millimeter. This is a rope in the sporting goods section. Here's more Bonnie's craft cord that's very thick. And then here's our clothesline. Okay. I'll highlight some of that in the carousel. Let's go to, I want to show you how I use this one, the thinnest one, with this metallic in it. I don't know if you can see this metallic. All right, I'm going to clear off some of this, put it on my lap so I can get to it later. Okay. All right. All right, that's that. All right, here we go. So here is an example where I used 3 different cords with 3 different thicknesses. All right, let's take a close look at this one. This is Bonnie's Craft cord, Rattail cord, and our clothesline. Let's go back. This is the same green one. I'll highlight that again in the carousel. Back to this one. It's this one here. This green. I need a basket to hold all my cords. A St. Patrick's Day basket. All right. All right, hold on a minute. I'm having a little problem here. Someone is spamming the comments. Spamming the comments over here. Wow, this person has nothing better to do. They are just, wow. I'm muting that person, muting them. Some people, you think that they'd have something better to do. And so, sorry for that distraction, ladies, but hopefully that's taken care of. They were just flooding the comments with crazy words. So I muted that person and I have reported them for abuse. This is the world we live in. Sad, right? Sad. So here we go. Let's take an overhead look at this and move on. I hope that person gets some help. So here are the 3 different cords. Remember how I said this will flatten out? This will flatten out, and you see how it has, this is the same cord. As it went under the needle and it was stitched, it started to blend in and flatten out in between the clothesline and the rat tail cord. All right. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that will take care of that. So this is just another combination, and you can combine it any way you want. Great for March 17th. Okay. Yes, Sally, it is sad. I agree. But you see the difference in that. Just, and then you can decide whether you want the Bonnie's cord to be at the top or the clothesline to be at the top when you finish. It just depends on what direction you sew the cords. That's just a little tip right there. I wanted the edge to have the cord finish at the top. So that's an example. So that's 3 cords. And here's a little hint about the sewing process. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there is some black thread in there and there's some cream thread. And that is part of the stitching order. Okay? That's part of the stitching order. The Rattail Cord was stitched down with black thread with a very narrow zigzag. Narrow zigzag. Okay. Now let's look at another example. This is the example. This is the example with the crochet. It's this Red Heart Classic crochet thread. I'll highlight this in the carousel. And you can get it in various colors, right? This one has metallic. Let's look at the overhead camera. This is a crochet thread. And it's very thin. It has some metallic hints to it. And I thought, wow, this could make a nice accent. And so I tried this in this basket. Okay, so this is the clothesline with that same green Bonnie's Craft cord. Now, what did I do? I wrapped the crochet thread as it was being stitched to create those little lines of thread in the basket. What do you ladies think of that? That's just another way. This is three different. This is cord, this is rope, and this is crochet thread. Isn't that fantastic? I love it. Awesome. I think you're getting the idea of the possibilities when we start to dive deep into different types of cords and ropes and crochet thread. Did you even think that you could add crochet thread to a rope basket? Just another way to embellish and add your own personal taste to it. Now, I want to show you one that's a fun color. I just highlighted it in the carousel. Let's look at this one. Look at this color. Isn't that pretty? A variegated crochet thread in the pinks, blues, and yellows. I love this one. Imagine this going across and being wrapped around. Normally, when we make, I shouldn't say normally, in the beginning, what was very popular was to take clothesline and wrap it with fabric. And a lot of ladies do that. But why can't we wrap other things around the clothesline? Think of the things you already have in your space, in your sewing room, that you can wrap around clothesline. Marsha says she loves the texture. Yes, endless combinations. So, Tasha, I think you are hooked. You're loving this more and more. Yes, the possibilities. The possibilities, exactly. Hey, Vicky. Nice to see you. So glad you're here. Yes, Copper asked a very good question. Yes, you can add, if you like hand sewing, you could take this, put a needle on it, and sew it any pattern you want in between the baskets. Because needle and thread can go through this. You just have to take the time to do it. I would use a large needle so that it's easy to go through. And then I might go in between rather than through the cord or rope. I would go in between the two as a start. So many possibilities. So many possibilities. I love this. So again, you can get these all in so many different colors. Many, many, many colors. All right. What haven't I shared? All right. I haven't talked about, and I'm going to do that right now, the craft text. We talked a little bit about it last week. This is craft text right here in the middle of the basket. I'll highlight that in the carousel. I love this paper product, crafting product. I find all kinds of ways to use it. And for those who missed the live stream 2 days ago, Wednesday, I showed you several projects that you can use this craft text with to make journal covers and to incorporate it with fabric. So there's so many ways you can use it. Let's look at another way that I've used it in a basket. I put a little heart in the basket. Again, I'm using 2 ropes. I'm using this clothesline rope, and I'm using another type of rope that I got in the industrial or hardware section of a store. So ladies, you can get all kinds of cords and ropes that are not made for sewing and crafting. Find out how pliable they are. Will a needle go through it easily? You don't want anything that's hard. It has to be soft. Okay? If it's hard, then you want to stitch over it with a zigzag. Okay? Here is, where is that one? Here it is. Here's an example. This is another cord that instead of stitching into it, I stitched over it and created this texture that's sitting on the top. It's not in the back because remember, it's sitting on top. And this is not a craft type of cord. You get this in the industrial section, the hardware section, or the sporting goods section. Okay, I like that idea. So here is the craft text. Remember, I put it through my printer. I use it as a way of finishing off the baskets. It's on all of these. Some of them have my business on it. Some of them don't. Here is the craft text again. Sewn off with a little green, but it's a different shape. It's a different shape. You decide what shape you want it to be. Okay? Now, when I am putting on my own label, I will fold this in half, and it took me time to figure out how to fold it, how long it should be, etc., etc. This is when the basket is finished. It's finished and it's ready for me to hide that edge. I need to hide that. And there's a lot of different ways you can finish it. You can finish it with fabric if you don't use craft text, but I use craft text. And this is a natural craft text. I fold it over and I decide if I want my logo on the inside of the basket or if I want it on the outside. When I put it under the needle, I need to hold it in place. And I can't put a pin through it because craft text, once you put a pin through it, the hole is permanent. So I take my Wonder Clip to hold it in place. And just for a few moments, as I'm putting underneath the machine, once I get the needle in the craft text, I'll hold it like this with the Wonder Clip, Then I'll bring it around this side so that the machine can go through it right here on the bottom. Okay, let me see if you ladies have any question here. Hey, Penny is there, my sister. Hello, nice to see you. So glad you're here. The possibilities are endless with texture and color. That is so true. Yes. Excellent. You ladies are getting the point. Ooh, a string of dangling beads. I think, was it last week I showed you some beads? But yes, that's a neat idea. Tasha, you are getting the idea. You are already on your way to designing your own baskets. Hey, Terry, I'm so glad you're here. Awesome. You love all the baskets, but especially the one with the pink inside. All right. Everyone's going to have their own favorites. So that's how I would do it. So I would take it to my sewing machine and I would make sure the clip is on that side because this side is the flat side of the clip. And so that's going to be on the machine bed. And then I would bring the needle in to stitch right on top of and through the craft text into the basket to finish it off. So this one is in line in the queue to get this edge finished. And that's how I would use this wonder clip. Okay, what else? Did I show you all the baskets? Here's another one. That is like, let me go to a photo which I think will be a better detail. So that is very similar. This is very similar to the pink one. It's the same type of cord and it is on the surface. And this is a small, like you hold your glasses, hold your pen in it. You can see in the photo there, this is the small one in the foreground, finished off with some craft text right here. And then here is the larger one. So let's take a look at that in the overhead camera. So this is the pink of the same type of cord. And we're combining all of these different cords, crochet thread, Rattail cord. We are combining it with clothesline, right? So here is the red. And I like this one because it has red and blue. And it's on the surface. It has all this beautiful texture on it. And then there is my craft text. And so you can make this craft text any size you want and you can finish it off. You see how my edges are pinked. I use a pinked rotary blade in my rotary cutter. And if you don't have a blade that's pinked, you need to pick one up. I use it all the time. I highlighted that in the carousel for those watching on Amazon. That gives us those nice waves there. All right. Wow, that person is still spamming. What do you ladies think? Now, who was smart enough, I'm sure you all are. You love the change in color of thread. Good observation. Yes. Oh, there goes my brother. Hello. My brother's in there. Awesome. So Terry says she has the pink blade, but she hasn't used it. Now you have an idea on how to use it. So, Copper, you said you like the change in thread color. This has red thread on the inside. So there are two things that we're looking at with these baskets. We're looking at the threads, the cords. With the thread, you can vary the colors. You can decide, do I want to have thread shown on the inside or do I want it to blend? Do I want the cord, the second or third cords, to be on the outside of the baskets? Or do I want it to be on the inside? So I'm going to go back to the overhead camera. Here is the pink one and here's the red one. And this is the bottom. So as you start to make these, I'm going to go back here on the carousel. As you start to make these with this cord, right, with this clothesline, Terry says, so Tasha, I think you're going to be making a lot of baskets soon. Yes. So good to have you all here. Hey, Arrington. Here we have a second cord, but it's on the outside. When you turn it over, you don't see it unless you look at it from the side, right? And depending upon how big it is, and if it's filled with things, you're not necessarily going to see the cord. So that's a consideration, right? If you put the second cord on the inside, then you get to see that second cord. Weigh the options. If it's small like this one, you might still want the texture. It might be on the top of a shelf where if it's on a shelf, you're going to see the edges. This one, if you fill it, you may not see it, right? If I fill this with apples, you can still see the pink cord, right? A little bit, right? And again, those apples are perfect because they're not real. These are not real. Okay, folks? It looks like it. Don't bite into it. So those are some of the options you want to weigh when you are thinking about where are you going to put your second and your third cord. Are you going to put it on the inside where you can still see a hint depending upon what you put inside? Or are you going to put it on the outside? But depending upon how big the basket is, you can still see the cord on the outside, like this green one. This is bigger than this one. So you can see the second cord on the outside. And this is, again, the Bonnie Craft cord. It doesn't have to be green. You can get purple. You can get yellow. You can get red. You can get aqua, teal. You decide what color you want to put on the outside. And then Copper made a comment that how the red stitching on this one you can see, and on this one you can see the green stitching. So thread colors. I didn't have to use red and green to match. I could use black. I can use purple. You decide what color you want. Okay? Let's see. Did I go through everything? So we just finished that one. I think that is everything, folks. I'm going to check in the carousel. Did I forget anything in the carousel? On Amazon, for those watching on YouTube or Facebook for the first time, when we go live on Amazon, just below on the screen, below this video window is a carousel of all the tools that I talked about tonight. So when you're on Amazon, you can click on that rope, the cord, the pinked blade, on everything that you need to make your own rope basket. Okay, I think I promised you to talk about the new, at least new to me, large wonder clips and what's unique about that. Let me see, before I go to that, any questions? I know you ladies are chatting away over there on YouTube. Pinking shears. I have pinking shears. I tried to get them sharpened, but wasn't successful. Arrington, where are you from? He's over there in Houston, my brother. All right. So Terry, the pinking blade has many uses, just like the Wonder Clips. Yes, that is so true. Yes, okay. You typed pinked a lot. Okay. So I'm just checking the comments. Anything extra? Any questions that I missed? Let me know if you have any questions. All right, ladies. Meanwhile, I'm going to go over these Wonder Clips. For those of you who have not seen the large ones, I'm going to highlight it in the carousel. These are the large. Uh-oh, where did my fabric go? Oh, here it is. Here it is, my fabric. All right, here we go. Overhead camera. All right, so here is the jumbo Wonder Clips. Size comparison. It's always good to have a size comparison, right? This is the ones that I have been using. I just received these. And did you know that on the back, that there's information on the back of these Wonder Clips? Tell me in the chat if you know if there's information that you can use on the back of these Wonder Clips. Those ladies over there on YouTube, let me know if you knew that there was additional information on the back of these Wonder Clips, that there are lines. Did you know that there are lines on the back of these Wonder Clips? Can you see that line? Those lines there? 1 and 2. Yeah. So Lois says that she knew. Sally, you just ordered your shirt. Yay, date night shirt. Awesome. Yes, measurements. Eighth. All right, ladies, you are well informed. 1/4 inch seam. Yes, measurements, an eighth, a quarter, a half. So the small one has an eighth, right? And a quarter. The large one, they're 1/4 inch increments. You can see the little circles. You see that? Isn't that fantastic? All the way up to a full inch. So here, what I'll show you is that you bring in the clip. Now, ladies, I need my glasses. I'm not going to fool around and try and do this without glasses. Let me do this so I get it right. Okay, so that's on the first one, which is a 1/4 inch, right? Now, this is the large clip. When I take in the smaller one, so Kelly, you didn't know that. Kelly says on Amazon that she didn't know that there was information on the back of these clips. Yes, it was news to me when I was doing my research. Okay, so if I use on the small one, 1/8, 2/8, I get a quarter. And once I put it on the second line, I get what? A 1/4 inch. This one is 1/4 inch increments. This is 1/8. So now they are lined up. I love these big clips that have those measurements. That's ingenious. I love it. How many of you have used these measurements? You ladies over there on YouTube said you knew. Lois, you said you knew. So, Tasha, you said you knew. Sally, you said you knew. Yep. Mm-hmm. Terry said she had no idea. Yes. Light bulb moment. So, Terry, you got 2 things tonight, the pink blade and then the wonder clips with the measurements on the back of the clip. Fantastic. Copper says that she didn't know either. And my brother's laughing. All right. Okay. Oh, what did did I read right? My brother's laughing at me in my glasses. You are right behind me, dear brother. You are right behind me. You are going to need these readers just like I do. I want you to know your time is coming. All right? Oh, are you saying you are already there? You need them? All right, you are already there. You weren't far behind me. Awesome, Terry. You always learn something new in this cool conversations. I'm so glad. So glad you always learn something new. So, ladies, what a fun night. Any questions about baskets? We had 3 sessions. If you missed them and you're watching for the first time here on Amazon, you can watch the replays. You just go to my channel here and you just click on my Amazon Live shop. Tools.livingwaterquilter.live takes you straight to my Amazon shop. Scroll down to the bottom and you will see all the replays. You just click past live sessions. Okay? Easy, easy, easy. You can then watch all of the DIY rope. There were 3 sessions on how to make your own rope basket. And I start with the basics in the beginning. You are welcome, Sally. You are welcome. Okay, my brother says he was laughing because he needs these readers too. Okay, good, good. Now, for those who joined late, in the beginning, I told you, ladies over there on YouTube, we just celebrated 1 year of Quilt Conversations Live. And to thank you and to celebrate, there is now a date night t-shirt. Go get yours. Copper's going to put the link in the chat, and you have until Sunday midnight to get your t-shirt. And when you get your t-shirt, you get a free tote bag as my thank you to you for being a part of Quilt Conversations Live. But you have until Sunday midnight. After that, no tote bag. You still can get a t-shirt, but no tote bag. So go get your date night t-shirt. I'm so excited that we have these now because you ladies called it date night. And I thought, wow, that'd be a great idea for us to have our date night t-shirt. Sally has already purchased hers. My sister says congratulations. you need to time to find another hobby, huh, Lois? Awesome. Yes. All right. Thank you, Copper. All right, ladies. Thank you for following on Amazon. If you're watching, hit the follow button. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell. When you subscribe on YouTube or you follow on Amazon, whenever I schedule a live session, you will be notified so that you don't miss out on these fun tutorials and for our community, our fun time together. Every Wednesday and Friday, I go live both on Amazon, Facebook, and YouTube. I go live on Sundays, only on Amazon, and I do some quick tutorials and sometimes in between. So tomorrow, I decided to go live on Amazon because I got a new iron. And I'm going to do an unboxing of my new iron. That's already scheduled. You probably see it if you go on Amazon. You'll see the banner, the thumbnail, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. All right, ladies, any more questions? Oh, you're welcome, Tasha. You are quite welcome. I enjoy these Friday sessions with everyone, and thank you to my siblings for showing up. It's rare that you ladies and my brother and sister are here. And so thank you for joining tonight. I love and miss you both. All right. Before I sign off, please let me know any questions. And I'm not sure what we're going to do next Friday. I haven't thought about what our new series will be. Oh, what time tomorrow? I scheduled it for 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Amazon. 11 a.m. Let me double check that. Let's see. It's already scheduled. Yep, I've scheduled it for 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to unbox my new iron and go through that, and we'll get to look at it together. Thank you. Love you too. Awesome. All right. No more questions? Amazon, those watching, any questions on rope baskets? On the different cords? Any questions? If not, I'm going to sign off. I thank you for being here and joining me on Quilt Conversations Live, where we talk about tools and techniques, the right tools to finish our projects and to have fun. I don't want to be frustrated. I want the right tools to help me finish my project and to have fun. And that's what we talked about tonight, rope baskets. We're ending our DIY series on rope baskets, and we will have something else next week. If you have an idea of what that would be, what you would like, let me know on YouTube in the comments and in Facebook what you might like to talk about next week, Friday, and I will consider it. All right. Well, Terry says, you are welcome, Terry. Thanks. Yes, you've been watching for a year now. Now you decided on which t-shirt color. Yes, so many colors. Get one in every color. Good night, everyone. Decisions. Yes. Awesome. Good night. All right. I'm going to sign off. I keep saying that, but I am. See you next time.